So it's April 17th at 1 p.m. It's open to anybody who wants to come. There's not an agenda. It's meant to have a forum and whatever on your mind, whether it's communities, students, staff, faculty. It's a way to get everybody together and feel a community. Thank you. I started attending the Academic Senate meetings, and I politely asked that to be a regular part as opposed to be invited in. I think it's important for the president to be sitting at the Academic Senate meetings and take part as needed. I've met with the CSA and the YFA. I think those have been very productive, informative exchanges, and I'd like to continue that. I have yet to, but I'm going to be meeting with the Associated Students governing body. The one thing I sort of realized is the students are asked to come, but I think we need to do a much better job of actively involving them in the conversation because they're students and they're not sure whether they should speak up. So I'm going to be working with the academic senates and the governing bodies, encouraging them to engage our students in the conversations. I've started my, for lack of a better term, I call it the president's lunch table. I typically eat over in the dining commons. And so I encourage folks, if they now know where I am from 12 to 1. And so I'm feeding myself. But I encourage faculty and students to come and have lunch with me. And it's slowly catching on. And I've had groups of students come and have lunch with me and talk about what's on their mind. And I'm having faculty come as well. I like the notion of informal conversations. I'm working with George in terms of developing a college advisory board. Centennial is right around the corner, and I think we need to start developing a really good campaign towards our Centennial campaign efforts. I wanted to thank the organizers of the MLK speaker series for inviting me to provide the introduction for Michael Eric Dyson. It was a wonderful presentation. I wanted to thank Vice President Arias for allowing me to provide the welcome for the Raza grad celebration, and she took the risk that my Spanish would not get me in trouble. And I haven't gotten any emails yet, so I think I did okay. And let's see, three major efforts I've talked to folks in the Academic Senate and Jen that I really like to move forward with. One is Zero Textbook Cost Initiative, and I really appreciate Jim stepping up and actually digging into a very important topic that I hope will save our students millions of dollars in textbook costs. The other one is developing more online degrees. We have students that have transportation issues or location issues that we need to have more things online to provide education to them. And another one is looking at the academic calendar so we can have better scheduling involved, coordinating between the two campuses to allow students more opportunities to sign up for courses. In terms of shout out, again to our science folks, you hosted the Stanislaus County Regional Science Olympiad on March 2nd, and you had hundreds of young scientists from middle school and high school from around the area. I know that's no small effort, and I know you had over 1,000 people who attended the ceremony in the pavilion. So thank you to your faculty for putting on what is a great community event. And the MJC YCCD chapter of Latina Leadership Network was honored with the College District of the Year Award at the LNL statewide conference. So kudos to our Latina Leadership Network. Well done. And last but not least, our 97th commencement is coming up on May 3rd, and our faculty tenure recognition ceremony is set for April 25th. It's always good to recognize our faculty and staff, so that's my last word. Questions?
Thank you very much. Okay, Columbia. Dr. B, I'm not even risking it.
It's easy. Born to party.
That I can do.
Good evening. We have to change that now, coffee with the president, to run with the president. We have a running club. And as summer is coming in, we would start running the park course on the campus. We do run there. We do have a jersey and all that stuff also. But anyway, um, Jim, we had a short interaction in working with you, but I really enjoyed working with you. Thank you for all you have done. I can see you have removed all the facial hair, looking younger. Definitely bright days ahead. Congratulations. Yeah, the facelift, I don't know whether it was the job, but it's a good job. I also enjoyed working. Nate is not here. He had to rush out to San Francisco. But that was great to work with Nate and our academic leadership at the college. So, good evening. Finally, we are getting into a glimpse of spring. We had abundance of rain, lots of foliage, which means we are looking at a dry season probably, and some fires. And talking about fire, we are kind of trying to prepare some. There's so many activities that happened in the college in the last few days, and about to happen one more this Friday, which is all related to the fire. On April 13th, on our campus, we are hosting a meeting, a town hall meeting in collaboration with county supervisors, CAL FIRE, Sheriff's Department, Animal Control. They are all coming in there. And the whole objective of that is to educate our community that in case of a fire, before, during, and after, what are the do's and don'ts? How do you prepare? What do you do? And then how do you recover from that? And we would continue on that path. We do have some experts in our area, in our campus, in both our forest and fire department. And they are also collaborating with the local organizations, how we can bring those kind of knowledge available to our communities. I'm trying to work with also some services that we can offer to the community through our students. Like we keep saying, that save your photographs that you have to carry with you when you're evacuating. Hey, I think it's easier to scan the photographs and put it in the cloud. So you don't have to be thinking about carrying the photograph, or if you're not at home, they're not destroyed. We know our population may not have the scanning and uploading tools. Our students can do that pretty easily. We have scanners and everything. We're trying to work out something with the county that if we can have some apprenticeship, it's a work experience for the students. Similarly, when we're talking about have a defensible space, if we can use our forestry department students who are chainsaw trained, they can go and help out the county folks to clear out, create some barriers for the fire, defensible space, and so on and so forth. It's slower than I anticipated, but still it's going on. On April 1st, we also organized a fire academy job training at the local fire center, and that all the several fire stations from the nearby localities, they came there. I went to see that, and they showed the demonstrations the students have to go through. One of the exercise was climbing a 70 feet up ladder. There is no support. Of course, you're in a harness and a belay, but climbing a 70 feet high ladder straight up is not a very easy gig. But I'm told that if I climb up, it's a beautiful view of the town of Sonora. I didn't take that opportunity. Sorry? Yeah, probably. On April 5th, last Friday, we had 2 events on the campus. And for a campus of our size, holding 2 events simultaneously requires a lot of effort from everybody on campus, particularly our facilities staff, our security. They have to put up the game in order to manage the 2 events. One was our Columbia College Career Technical Education Division. They held the Occupational Olympics in partnership with the local high schools. So local high schools came in, the kids came in, they got exposed to our college, and hopefully some of them would come back to the college as the days go by. Other one was the largest job fair as far as I understand, in Tuolumne, Calaveras County, and we had 72 employers out there. And those are not the mom and pop stores. Those were big name employers. Having 72 employers in Calaveras County, that was kind of an achievement. That wouldn't have been possible without the effort of Mary Watts, who's our career center staff. I mean, she has been working tirelessly on that. And she collaborated with Mother Lode Job Training also to bring that forward. Occupational Olympics, since our Dean of CTE, Klaus, was not there at that time, Jen Beck, she stepped up and she really organized that event and she ran with the ball. Kudos to both of them, both Mary and Jen. On 27th March, last month, we had Heroes and Helmets dinner celebration. I would not call it a celebration. It was a fundraising in memory of our student, Jordan Reyes. Jordan Reyes was a firefighter. He graduated from our college. We lost him to a motorbike accident in September 15th, 2011. His parents established this scholarship in his name, And it's a fundraising event where community comes in and we just get together, share a meal, and then whatever funds are raised, that goes to fund the scholarship for our Fire Academy students. That was a well-attended event. Thanks to our faculty members, Shane Warner, Andy Van Hugmoid, and Jen for organizing that event. Two more things. One is we are moving along with our Amador Connect partnership to offer the classes at Jackson, which would be more video transmit classes using technology where we can have a remote classroom established about 50 miles away from campus. We are in the stage of signing up the nuts and bolts, talking about the facilities. Thank you, Judy, for all your help on that, help and guidance. Trevor is playing a key role on that, on contract negotiation and things like that. So that's going along well. And we had a brief conversation with Jobs for the Future about introducing a Google curriculum or Google approved curriculum on our campus. With the initial conversation, the whole part is if we are allowed to write, it's a Google approved curriculum in our catalog, in our courseware and everything. That brand name is bigger than any brand name in the world. So having that attracts a lot of high school students, or that creates that excitement. So we are exploring the possibilities, how we can best use it and how we can seek more industry partnerships. That's about it from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Chancellor Young.
Well, thank you. I want to start off by mentioning about the Classified Employee of the Year award. You know, this award is a statewide award that was started in 2009. It's been continued every year by the Board of Governors and the Foundation for Community Colleges. I'm very happy to announce that the Board of Trustees of YCCD has selected Fred Grohl, the telecommunications specialist at Columbia College, and have directed staff to forward the nomination to the Board of Governors and the Foundation for Community Colleges. So that is one. Second is that there will be a presentation of an award during the staff recognition dinner on Friday evening. So that we could really congratulate Fred for his contribution to the district. The next is Classified School Employees Week. This is also a great event that was recognized by the legislature and is typically held in the third week of May. So for this year, it'll be May 19 to the 25th. So we will be doing that. I just want to give all of you a heads up. And last year, I was able to attend an event here in Modesto, and then one of the events up at Columbia. So I hope to do the same. And of course, you heard me mention about staff recognition dinner. It is this Friday evening. There's a total of 9 retirees and 40 service year awardees. I will be honoring them in Oakdale. So we look forward to seeing all of you there for the event. And last but not least, I want to mention that on tonight's board agenda, up for the board's approval, is a memorandum of understanding between YCCD and the YFA. It seeks to clarify the tentative agreement, and this is such a great milestone for our district in recognizing, the hard work that has been put forward by the YFA, led by Jim Solomon, and of course our district staff. So I want to personally thank Jim for the opportunity to work with you to resolve a lot of issues. Many were there for a long time, We were able to accomplish a lot, and there is work to be done in which I will continue working with your successor. The journey to a good working relationship with all the constituencies is always a long one, and it should never be one that is completed, because there is always things that we can improve, that we can make the organization better, and the working conditions better for all our constituent groups. And so I look forward to that with the new leadership and in the coming year. And of course, I know at any time that I need advice on something, I would be able to call on you, Jim. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much. So we are up to 5.8, the grant activity update. This has been requested by the board every month, so it's included in your agenda package for information purposes. And now we're up to 6.1, which is the consent agenda. So does anybody wish to pull anything from the consent agenda for discussion or? Nope.
Well,
So
if
hard,
there's
I can't see
if
people.
no additions or corrections,
There's a correction to the personnel transaction list. The individual listed for appointment classified probationary, just a correction to the name. It is Esmeralda Felix, not Feliz. Thank you.
Okay.
okay, with that correction, I'll move that we accept the consent agenda as presented, sections 6.2 through 6.9.
I'll second that.
Okay, so Abe made the motion, Darren seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay. So we are now up to, I think, 7.1. The MOU between YCCD and YFA that the Chancellor just referenced. The recommended action is that the Board of Trustees approves the memorandum of understanding between Yosemite Community College District and the Yosemite Faculty Association, clarifying the tentative agreement as attached to this agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
From Nancy,
Second.
second from Abe. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. And I am going to abstain. All right. Motion carried, yes. All right, so now we're up to 7.2, which we already did earlier, so skip that.
Did we vote on it?
I believe we did.
We did.
We
Okay.
did.
Thanks, I couldn't remember, sorry.
7.3 is an honorary degree for Richard Duran. The recommended action is that we confer an honorary associate degree to Mr. Duran, as noted on the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
From Darren. Do I have a
Second.
second? From, thank you. From Margie. Sorry, I didn't say it. Okay. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say nay. The motion carries. We are up to 7.4, the Columbia College mission statement. I'm sorry. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. All right. So Margie was your first, Nancy was your second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, that motion carries. 7.5 is Columbia College's vision statement.
So moved.
Second.
Did you catch that, Graciela? Okay.
We'll give it to Nancy. They've got a partnership going on here.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Let's see. 7.6 is the Columbia College and Careers Pathways Partnership Agreement, first reading. We're just conducting a first reading. We don't have to vote on it. But do the trustees have any questions or comments?
I actually have just a clarifying question if Shantanu or Dr. Bondapatier could.
Rub it in.
I said it right there, Bondapatier. I've practiced it. You know I have. In the CCAP agreement for Amador County, the Amador County does not lie under the fictitious or non-fictitious footprint of YCCD. So, it's legitimate, I assume. And B, could you elaborate on the Delta College participation in allowing the CCAP agreement to sort of enter into their footprint, if you know what I mean?
Yes, Amador County is a no man's land. It does not belong to Delta. So wherever, if we have to go outside our area and sign a contract in somebody else's area, in that case, it's a honor system that we have to give intimation to Delta College. When we go to Calaveras County or parts of Calaveras County, that's when we have to collaborate with Delta. Amador County, nobody touches them. So if we go there, that's like free for all. Whoever goes, whoever can strike a deal, they strike a deal.
Very good. I'm glad we did, or that we're about to, or at least maybe in a second reading next time.
Thank you. Okay, so 7.7 is the second reading. Oh, no, we're already up to board. We're already up to, is Connie here? No.
We start with the second readings and do the first readings.
Right, no, I know that, but I was just expecting Connie to be here.
So was I.
Okay, so Connie is ill tonight, so as I guess we'll just go for the motion then. Unless there's any
Unless there's
discussion, or would you like to speak on this, Anne? I'm sorry,
Well,
I didn't know
I
she
didn't
wouldn't
know
be
that
here.
Connie wasn't going to be here. There was no heads up. So I know we had a few things, information that she was going to gather for us.
Right, should we delay it? No, we're doing this second reading.
I mean,
Reviewed it for the first.
yeah, but we had some, when
there
our
were a
meeting on Monday, I don't remember.
There were a couple of minor corrections and
Yeah,
things
so I
that
think
we
we,
made.
I think we should wait because she didn't let us know. I mean, she could have,
Looks like some.
Yeah, let's,
I could have brought it up. Okay,
okay.
well, I mean, I'm sorry that she's not here, but I think that we're not able to do it. So
Kimberly, what?
okay, so there are no corrections at all? Okay, well,
Oh, okay,
all right, so then I think we could go ahead.
okay.
So moved.
Second. Oh,
Okay, so which one is getting credit for the second?
Me.
second. Second over there.
Sorry, Admiral.
Is that you, Nancy? Second?
You got it.
No, you were ahead of me. I heard you.
If you haven't noticed, this dais makes it hard.
Never
'cause you
fought
can't
for a
see
second before.
people. All right,
Yeah.
I'll trust Graciela to have that down. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, now we're up to the first readings, 7.8. Do you want to speak on those, or? should
I
we just
I have the
postpone?
feeling that our recorder could identify the questions that we had that normally Connie would speak to. So would you be willing to do that, Kim? We'd appreciate it.
Good evening, Chair Beggs, trustees, Chancellor Young. In policy 2710, conflict of interest, the board committee wanted clarification on actually if any of the references were referring to the FPCC, Fair Political
FP,
FPCC,
yeah,
Political-
FPPC,
FPPC,
Fair
Fair
Political
Political
Practices.
Practices Commission.
Good.
And so Connie was going to check into those references. That was one of the corrections.
And we wanted it added.
Yes.
If
If it
it
wasn't-
wasn't already there by some other code.
The other changes were in the administrative procedure, on
2712.
712, where on line 18 on page 2 of 2, it does say Fair Political Practices Commission. We wanted to add in parentheses the FPPC, as well as they wanted to, the Board Policy Committee wanted to provide a link to the Form 700 document. We noted that it might change, so we will have a link to actually just the site. The other changes were on page 9 of 11 on 2712. The titles, there's some changes in our titles and our categories listed, so we are going to make some changes there. As well on page 10 of 10, changes to those titles and additions where needed. Is what we have.
Thank you very much, Kim. That helps a lot. So I'd ask if any of the other board members had changes they wanted to make. Yeah, you
No?
have that right.
Okay, so we just conducted a first reading then. All right, up next is 7.9, Classified School Employee Week that we talked about earlier. The recommended action is that we adopt the resolution number 18 to 19.08 attached to the agenda. And that we thank the staff, which I think already happened, for their commitment and contribution to the district. So do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution 18-19.08.
I'll second.
Thank you to Darren and Ann. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Any abstentions? The motion carries. 7.10 is another resolution. This one is authorizing Columbia College Child Care Center to apply for emergency closure funds due to the snow closure and power outage.
I'll move we accept the recommendation.
Okay. Abe, second is Nancy? I couldn't hear, sorry. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right. I think if I haven't forgotten anything, have I forgotten anything? We are up to board comments. So let's start down at that end for a change with Nancy.
Can I make a comment first?
Oh, sure.
I saw on the financial report that we had 2 outstanding expenditures for the pool at MJC. I wonder if next board meeting you can give us a update on the pool. Appreciate it. That's it.
Go ahead, Nancy.
Well, this last month, I was able to, as mentioned earlier by Alan, visit the Academic Senate here at Modesto Junior College and really enjoyed it. I was able to bring good news, so I got a ovation there, so that was exciting. I attended the Great Valley Museum board meeting and talked about the last fundraiser that was had was the casino night, which they were excited about the way things went. Looking forward to do another one next year. I just like to say thank you to the faculty and staff that have worked really hard this year. And I've been here since the first week of December. And a lot has been accomplished, I feel, through finally the MOU tonight and other things that have come through. And the pathways, the hard work that has been shown by the faculty, staff, and administration to get that going. And just a big thank you to everyone for going through the extra mile on the different laws that have been passed down that you've had to work on, and also the accreditation. So a big thanks.
Thank you very much. Margie?
I think she's the only, she's the unopposed candidate for the Student Senate, Franziska Domberger, to coffee. We had a lovely visit, long visit, as she shared with me really how absolutely thrilled she is to be a student at Columbia College. I also attended the all-day retreat with the Columbia College Foundation as we prepare to offer the second year of tuition-free admission to any high school graduate in Tuolumne County and Bret Harte High School in Calaveras. Thanks to Dr. Bondapadier and Trevor Stewart for working with me and the Tuolumne County Transportation Council. I think we're going to purchase a sign. We learned that the signage for Columbia College has met its quota. I didn't know that there was one, but Caltrans has a quota for signage, as they do for MJC. And so all it took was for Shantanu to agree to purchase a sign that we have to maintain and install and maintain. That will be a directional sign off of the 108 for directional sign to Columbia College. So I'm working on this for a long time before you, and I think before you. So this is really, it means a lot to me to have that signage on 108. And then finally, I'm very excited to attend the staff recognition dinner on Friday, the Fire Academy graduation on May 2nd, and the Columbia College graduation on May 3rd.
Thank you very much. Anne?
Well, I don't have much to report on other than the Policy and Procedure Committee meeting on Monday, but like Abe requesting information, I know that a travel committee was formed a while ago, and there were specific concerns that board members have, so I'd love to have, if not for next meeting, then 2 meetings from now, I'd love to have some information about how that the transportation, the parking, you know, all of that. I'd like to hear how it's going and what they're up to.
Thank you very much. Tony?
My turn. Okay, so I had a couple of meetings. I met with President Hopus and the Director of Technical Education, Mr. Pedro Mendez. That was a very educational lunch meeting that I had, so that was wonderful. Thank you, guys. And I guess we were busy at the Academic Senate because this month I also attended the Academic Senate. So I loved first of all, thank you for the invitation. It was a wonderful experience. I mean, I stayed for the whole meeting, and I just impressed about your faculty and their dedication to what they teach and their arguments and back and forward. It was an amazing experience. It was really, really impressive. So I just want to let you guys know it was in a good way. Also, Alan and Curtis, they made me feel very comfortable at home. I want to thank you for that. And Mr. Curtis is not here, so it was a wonderful experience. So thank you. Oh, go ahead.
Yes.
I'd like to add a couple words. I got mixed up in my personal recollections and calendar and thought you had visited before the previous board meeting, but I want to affirm that Trustee Aguilar was very well received, that it was an excellent discussion we had with him, and what I consider a really good start.
Very good. And I guess one more. I'll steal some of the minutes from our next board meeting, but I think this is important because I had a wonderful customer service experience with one of our, I didn't know who it was at the time, but one of our administration. So I'm going to go in a little story. So I have a son that is going to college here. He already graduated, but he wanted to get some extra classes. So he's trying to get he's trying to do a scholarship, and he needed some paperwork. And he was having problems finding this paperwork at MJC. And he called me one time and I said, Mijo, how can you not find this? I mean, you go there. I don't know anybody there. I don't know anything. So he was like, Dad, they told me it was online and I can't figure it out. And I said, okay, I give him a number that I got from Graciela. I just said, here's this number. They told me to go there. So I forgot about it. So 2 or 3 days later, he calls me and says, Dad, I'm here. And they said that I can't get it here. Kids, they don't have no patience whatsoever. He's expecting me to fix it. And I'm like, I don't know anybody. So I call, and a very nice lady answered the phone. And I said, my son is there. He can't get this paperwork. And she's like, okay, let me transfer. I didn't know where. She transferred me. And I explained to this lady, my son is there. And she's like, okay, first of all, is he there right now? And I said, yeah. And she went ahead and said, why don't you give him my direct number and have him call me right now from wherever he is at, call me at this direct number. And I said, okay. So I got her number and I said, Tony, call this number and they're going to help you. Okay, so an hour passed and I called back and I said, did you figure it out? And he goes, yeah, it was not there, it was somewhere else, but everything is good. She was so nice to me. She told me about I needed a job, and he's going on and on about how nice this person was. And I'm like, wow, okay. Remember, I'm just a parent. I didn't tell him, nobody knows who we are. So I said, okay, let me call her back and tell her thank you, because this is really nice experience. So I called back and it was an answer machine, and I said, this is the parent of the student you just helped. I just wanted to thank you, and if you can call me back. So 10 minutes later, I get a call from a different number, and she's like, I'm on my lunch, but I decided to call you. And so we start talking, and well, guess who it was? It was our Vice President of Student Services, Frida Arias. So I just want to say, that was, that was, I was like, oh, for a direct number and having my son call him. Remember, she had no idea. I was just a parent kind of frustrated and trying to help my son. So, and then after I told her who I was, because I felt bad, I'm not trying to keep anything in, and then we had a good conversation. But anyways, it was one of the best customer service experience. So I'm proud to represent this institution and to know that we have people so caring and so dedicated to help our students. So thank you. That's it.
Very nice.
Thank you very much. Darren, you're up.
I'm sorry, I ceded all my time to Tony.
I'll get you next time.
I'm sure you said I'm a parent from Area 7. No. You
No.
No. I like Ann. A slow month, but I'm looking forward to all the stuff that is going on. I really enjoy this time of year because it's when we get to recognize staff and commencement and all these wonderful activities that are going on. So I've got a lot of these dates marked in my calendar already. So beyond the normal meetings I have every month, that was pretty much it. I won't bore you with that. I want to say thank you, Jim. I can put my bulletproof vest away now, no, you've been great. I know from the first time I met you when I was running for office and showed up at the board meetings back in 2015, I knew that you were someone highly dedicated to your peers and dedicated to your mission as YFA president. And having been a union president, I can understand and appreciate that. So I want to thank you for all your hard work and dedication. Sherry, Classified Week, it's a great opportunity to recognize all of your members. So thank you for what you do as well and everything that they do for the district. And one final thing I want to say is I wish all the best and speedy recovery to Curtis Martin's father. So with that, I looking forward to everything in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you almost forgot me.
But I didn't.
Ditto on that recognition, Jim, and I expressed how I felt at the Columbia meeting and want to thank you for all your service. I'm like Darren, other than attending the meetings that we were required to attend, I did attend the FFA Ag program, in which there was over 1,000 people there, and Henry and I got to be in the picture with all the group of individuals that were there. So it was a great experience. And then I don't remember if it's this time or the other, but we have our MOUs with Cal State Stanislaus. And Brian, we would call it WOW, Warriors. So that was a great experience too. So, and it creates a pathway that we've been talking about in having them accept our students and transfer students. And you know, with all the things that I try to keep my brain wrapped around and trying to keep things in perspective, sometimes between my personal life, my community service life here with YCCD, I decided I'm going to put the meetings in my pill box because that's the only way I know what day it is. So.
Thank you. I also want to thank Jim for his service. It's just been a pleasure knowing you these years, and I'm serious when I say I'm going to miss your laugh. But hopefully you'll be back from time to time. And as far as meetings, I had quite a bunch fewer meetings because I went on vacation, so that was kind of nice. But I did do the policies and procedures meeting, which is, as Ann mentioned, it's been an ongoing goal of ours to work on due process among all the other things that we have going on. But that's looking hopeful. And I'm also looking forward to what's coming up with the staff recognition dinner and graduation. And it's just been wonderful to be here tonight and hear people talking about all the relationships they're developing. It's wonderful and new and nice. So anyway, with that, our next meeting is May 8th, and it's here. And this meeting is, unless Graciela tells me I'm forgetting something, no, this meeting is adjourned.